Good evening, and I welcome you, students. Do you have energy?
Yes, sir.
All right, we are going to begin with a small meditation. This meditation is a healing meditation, and this meditation is to thank. To thank whom?
God.
Are you not thankful to so many things that you
Yes,
have a body, you have a mind, you have a face, you have a teeth, you have lungs, you have heart, you have legs to walk? Are you not thankful for that?
yes, sir.
You never cared about it. Now I want to make you conscious that everything God has gifted us is very important. They all my parts of the body help me, but I never care about them. I never taken care of them. I have never thanked them. You have never thanked yourself, but you may be thanking others who are helping you or doing some work for you. This meditation is particularly meant to thanks. This is an attitude of gratitude that we are thanking all whatever is given to us, the gift of God. I will speak certain thing. You will close your eyes and you will focus on your breathe. The two nostrils, your mind will be focusing on that breathe, which is in, out, in, out. Inhale in, inhale out. That's what we are doing all the time.
Yes, sir.
Consciously, we will see and we will like to thank so that we remain fit and healthy. All right, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Take a deep breath in and let it go. Another deep breath in, Ujjayi breathing. When you take Ujjayi breathing, your stomach inflates as much as possible. And when you exhale, you can exhale from the mouth. The negative energies out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. These were deep breaths in, out. This shows that we are a part of this, that our life exists because we are able to breathe. If we are not able to breathe, we will not be existing. Is it right or wrong? 3 minutes only. 3 minutes, if we don't inhale, then we are no longer there. All right, you will sit comfortably on the chair. Are you comfortable? Close your eyes and you have your two hands pointing upward. You can put comfortably on the lap. Your eyes are closed. You will focus on the breathe. Keep breathing in and out. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep breathing. Now I am focusing my breathe and entire attention on my mind. On my mind. Are you gone to your mind? You can see
Yes,
your mind with the closed eyes. You will thank it. I thank you, mind, for the work you do for me. Because of you, I am able to think, I am able to solve my questions, and I can do, I am also able to write all the exams. Now the attention is moving towards my face. I thank you, my tongue. I thank you, my teeth, because you digest my food, you break my food, and because of you I am able to eat all the food and enjoy all the tastes and flavors of the food. All right, I am now coming to my neck. I thank you, my neck, because of you the food goes inside and I am able to inhale, the oxygen enters into my lungs. Now take your attention to your lungs. Experience that your lungs are inhaling the air, the oxygen. I thank you, my lungs, for the oxygen you inhale, which goes and mixes into the blood and provides food to the entire cells. Now you concentrate and focus on your heart and experience the pump heart in your mind. It is pumping the blood to the entire cells of the body. I thank you, my heart, for the pump. You work 24 hours non-stop. Even when I'm sleeping, you are working. I thank you. Now, I have two hands and fingers. I thank you, both the hands and fingers. I am able to do right and able to do all my work with you. I eat my food with you, my hands with my fingers, and I do all my work, even using of laptops with my hands and fingers. I thank you, my hands and fingers. Now focus your attention on your stomach. I thank you, my stomach, for the digestive system you have, and you help me, and I am able to digest the food. Now you focus on your legs. Oh, I thank you, legs, for you able to walk me. I am able to move. I go from one place to another because of you. I thank you, my legs. You have done so much good for me, and I am now thanking you. I come to the feet. I thank you, my feet, for I wear my shoes on you, my chappals, and I am able to walk, run, and do whatever motion I take. Finally, I thank my entire body, which is the greatest gift given to me by the God. Because of this body, I exist, and I promise to take care of this body so that I live healthy, happy, and always smiling. Come back, students, to the normal breathing, normal inhale, exhale. Rub your hands. Healing energy is produced, students, and gently massage your face, your eyes, and your entire head, face, and you may open and express with your folding hands, express gratitude to the God for the gift of life, for the gift of beautiful body, due to which we are able to perform all our functions and enjoy everything in this universe. Slowly and gently, you can open your eyes with smiles. Come back. How do you feel about it?
Good, sir.
Our purpose is to tell you the basics of life. We are never thankful to so many things in life, and probably we do not know without them we cannot exist. Everything is not money. People are running after money or this or that. But remember, if we don't have a body, then we don't exist. And we should also be thankful that we have a body. There are people who have only one leg. There are people who have one hand. And there are people who are blind. You know all about it. So we should be very thankful that all the parts of our body are functioning. Whatever we are, wherever we are. This is an important point. I hope you understood my point, why I do all these. My research is on life and I'm working on it. Our purpose is to improve our students in health, in fitness, and they should be very good in life. They should know that they can face any type of situations and they can pass any exam. It is not the question of one exam. There will be so many exams in your life and you will fail in many exams. Doesn't matter. There will be more opportunities. You can keep trying and you can go and pass many other exams. Don't worry. There's nothing to worry that this I have not been able to do, because there will be more and more things to do. Life is never ending. So I hope you guys understand me. Our purpose is to motivate you and provide you with a lot of energy. All right, we are back to the session. The session is very important, and today's session is on periodic classification of the elements. Periodic classification of the elements. I hope you are aware of this.
Yes, sir.
How many elements have been given in the periodic table, students? Now, presently, you see how many elements?
118.
118 elements. Are all the elements natural, or there are elements which are man-made?
There are many elements which are man-made also.
Okay, many elements. So But you know, the whole world which we are living, there are about few elements which you are so familiar with. Can you name the most important elements which we are already aware of and using? Our body, our system, our air, our oxygen. What most important elements are there?
Oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen.
There are certain cycles which you may have read also in the science of that nitrogen cycle, carbon cycle, and there phosphorus is there. All these water cycle, all these elements which make these compounds also. So we are aware that carbon is very, very unique and has certain important properties. Classification of periodic table is important, and you are aware of the. We are not going into too much history of that. If you want, you can study. I always say study more and more because there is no end to studies. More you study, the better you are. That we are already aware, students. There is no end to it. So, how many blocks you have experienced in the periodic table? How many blocks are there? Student,
There are 4 blocks,
S, P.
P, D, and F.
What is the basis of these blocks? What it means?
It is on the basis of the fact where the last electron goes in
Goes
s
in.
orbital, in p orbital, in d, or in f.
Okay, how many elements, how many groups are there in S block?
2 groups.
1 and 2. What is the first element called? Group 1 is known as
Alkali metals.
alkali metals. Group 2,
Alkaline earth metals.
alkaline earth metals. Interesting thing is that what are the elements of the alkali metals if we ask you a question?
In alkali metals, we have lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and cesium. That's
You know, when we say alkali metals, this may not be called as alkali metal. Why? The first element which you write, which period is this? Which period is this?
it is second period.
Second period. Which period is this?
Third.
Third period. The second period element, first is hydrogen and helium, as you have seen in the periodic table. And the second period elements may not be regarded as the elements of the group. For example, we say that there are certain properties on the basis of which you are saying alkali metals. These may not be considered as alkali metal. Why? What could be the reason?
Because of their small size,
Their
they
behavior
show
is
certain anomalies in their properties.
the second period element. The second period element shows a unique,
properties.
anomalous behavior as from rest of the elements. So when sometimes questions are put up, are they alkali metals? Or in the second group also we will experience what are the elements of the second group?
In second, beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and radium.
Students, when I label these two elements may not be considered as alkaline earth metals. What happens? Their properties are not going to represent the properties of the entire group. What is the reason? You already know that. That was a point question was given somewhere in the paper. That beryllium and all this, are these alkaline earth metals? One of these is not alkaline earth metal. Then they said this is not alkaline earth metal. It has been put in group 2 because of the same outermost electronic valence electronic configuration. But the properties are not same. That you have seen the diagonal relationships also we talk about.
Yes, sir.
Whatever I'm discussing are something very important which are not given in the book, and when children will not understand and ignore it. See the story. So the reasons for this also, you know, what are the reasons what are the reasons, student? I'm saying in period 2, the elements have properties different from the group elements. Period 2 elements. Period 2 elements. Now I'm talking of period 2 elements. What is the reason you are giving?
Small size,
Hmm?
Then absence of d orbitals.
Hmm? Very small size. Size is very small, and since n is equal to 2, they have only 2s and 2p. They have k and l, only two shells, two shells. So absence of d orbitals. So that changes their chemistry, and then you know that their valency, covalency, how much maximum covalency can be there. Covalency. I'm talking of period 2 elements because here is a question in the paper.
Their maximum covalency can be 4.
4. You have 2s and you have 2p. So maximum covalency can be 4. They can donate lone pair of electrons also. You know about it. The important point. Can you name the period 2 elements?
Sir, which period elements?
Second period element.
Second period is lithium,
Hmm.
beryllium. Then in group 13 we have boron,
Hmm.
then carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon.
All right. Second period is important for reasons I have told you. So there could be questions based on that. These elements are different from the group elements. Then question was asked, what are typical elements? Typical elements. They belong to which period?
Representative elements.
I'm not saying representative element. I'm saying typical element. Did I say representative? Representative elements are different. I'm saying there are typical elements. Because I knew students won't know about it. Typical elements. Typical elements are those which will represent the entire group.
Okay.
That means their properties represent the properties of the entire group. Which period will they be, students?
They will be in
Third period. These are the elements which will also represent the properties of the rest members of the group. Which is a third period element? Alkali metal, tell me.
third period is sodium,
And
magnesium.
and
Then 13 में aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, fluorine, and argon.
I mean, these are noble gases. They are not in our, when we talk of these certain properties. So when I say sodium, it will represent the properties of the alkali metal groups. Alkali metal groups. Typical properties. So their properties are typical. All right. This much we know. Okay. Then in the, you have 4 blocks S, P, D, and F. Then you have saying there are representative elements. What are representative elements in the periodic table?
Representative elements will be group 1, 2, S and P block. S and P block.
And P block elements. They represent the properties of the element, representative elements. All right. Then we talked about transition elements. Transition elements start from which period, student?
Transition elements, they are from third period.
Third period? Wrong answer. Which element, what are transition elements? Okay, let me answer definition.
Transition elements are the D block elements.
D block, where it will begin? D begins from which? Is there any 2D?
No, sir.
If it begins from which? 3D.
3D.
If it is 3D, then which is the outer shell? Is it 3D is the inner shell? Which is the outer one?
4S.
4S. Then n is equal to 4
Okay.
means what?
Fourth period.
So which period will they begin?
Fourth period.
We are trying to think everything. We are not trying to mug everything. The questions is how we solve questions in the exam. Questions are very based on, what we should think and then answer the question. There are clues of answering the question always. Are hydrogen, helium, put the first period. Second period, you are saying lithium, for example. Then a third period, also you have seen sodium, magnesium. And when it comes to fourth period will be the outermost is 4S. 4, n equal to 4. Then in n equal to 4, you will get 3D. Right?
Yes, sir.
So that means it should begin from fourth period. Am I right or am I wrong? Tell me. I
Yes,
am wrong also. I am trying to generalize the themes. Without thinking, I cannot answer any question. Okay. And you have seen transition elements, which how many series you have seen the transition elements?
3D, 4D, 5D, and 6D. 4D series.
There could be more, but we are not studying them. If you are saying 118 elements in the periodic table, you are saying 118 elements. Okay. What do you mean by inner transition elements?
The F block elements.
F block elements. Why they are called inner transition elements?
Because the last electron will go into the anti-penultimate shell.
What is the group number?
Their group number is...
You are talking periodic classification. They will ask you group number and period number. They will give you atomic number. Tell what is the group number, what is the atomic number. Whatever you know already, we are not discussing that. You already know that. Okay. What is the group number?
Group.
How you said 4F and 5F?
Group is 3.
Group 3, 4F series. What is the name of the 4F?
Lanthanoids.
Lanthanoids. What is the group number?
3.
What is
Group
the period?
number?
What is the period number?
Period will be... six.
Period number 6. That means 6 acid 2 is there. After 6, then you have 5D and then you have 4F. That is the situation.
Yes, sir.
N is equal to 6. Period number is the value, highest value of the principal quantum number, n equal to 6. 6th shell. When I talk of actinoids, what is the group number?
Group number 3.
And what is the period number?
Here period will be 7.
N equal to 7. 7. Period number 7. 7th period. Period number is 7. Then what is the configuration? 7s2. Then you are saying 6D and 5F. Keep on writing and make your notes. It's important because here a lot of questions could be answered in the paper. If we understand, we will be able to answer. We रट्टाबाजी नहीं चलेगा. तो ये समझ में आ गया कि क्या स्टोरी है ग्रुप नंबर. अब उसने ये कह दिया, देखो, an element has atomic number 17. Now question behind the group number. These are favorite questions. And period number. How will you answer such question? This is an important point. Such questions they are going to ask us in the exam.
Atomic number is 17.
Oh, oh, oh. What way method you use to find the group number and period number? That is my question. Before we solve it, so that we don't do any mistake. What is the best way? Write
For
the
the electronic configuration.
write the electronic configuration. Okay, write it down. Tell me what is the electronic configuration. 1s2, 2s2, 2p,
2p6,
then
3s2.
then
It will be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3s2.
how many electrons? 10, 12. How many left?
5 are left.
Where it will go? Which orbital they are going?
3p.
3p5. Okay, you written this configuration. Basically, you know how to write the electron configuration, students. There is a diagram which is given in the book. There are so many ways, but whatever diagrams are given, 1s, 2s, 2p, or you find your own scheme, because this was a very easy question. Right now, I will change the question, then I will explain. So, how to write electronic configuration? Read about it. The scheme is given. There is a scheme for writing the electronic configuration. Once the electronic configuration is written, what is the highest value of the
3.
n? N is equal to 3.
3.
That means period number is?
Period number is 3.
Okay, one question answered. How do you find the group number? What is the number of valence electron?
7.
7 plus 10.
Plus 10.
7 plus 10 and 7. So group number is 17, period number
17.
is. Which element is this then?
17 is chlorine.
Which group is this? Halogens?
Halogens.
Halogens. X is the atomic number is 17. So this is chlorine, Cl. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. If you got it, so good. Sorry. Okay. Now I say in the paper, an element has Z equal to 117. Find the group number and period number. Okay. Now you do it. You have 1 to 2 minutes. Write the electronic configuration, students. You have a scheme how to write the electronic configuration. That's why I told you, don't think of, once a question comes in your paper, it will be of this order. So we should be knowing the scheme to write the electronic configuration.
It will.
It is coming like 7s2, 7p, 5, and then
so
if you have to see the scheme of writing them,
60, 10, and 5f4.
Then any noble gas configuration you can write. Otherwise, write the complete one. Write the complete one. Is it right?
5f4. Yes, sir.
What is the period number?
Period is 7.
Okay, wait. Period number is 7. What is the group number?
Group number here will be 7.
7 group. Which is group 7? Answer is wrong.
7 plus 10, 17.
Which group is 70? Halogen. This belongs to halogen family. Halogen family. You know, these elements, how many elements are listed? 118. And that after 100, the names have been given by IUPAC rules. No, IUPAC rules have been used for naming these compounds. You will check in the book, students, that IUPAC names have been listed for elements which are after 100. After 100. Okay? After 100, what name they are giving? You will use which rules? IUPAC rules.
IUPAC rules.
So what is the IUPAC rule? For one you use for one.
Un.
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 And for
Un.
7?
For 7 it is hept.
Hept. 7. Sept. 7 is sept.
Sept.
Check it out, read it out. Why did I explore it? Read it out. Then what is the name of this?
Unseptium.
Un. This should be small letter. This is how we develop the answers. I'm just trying to demonstrate it. Unseptium.
Septium.
This becomes a question for NEET. They will ask you, okay, what 117? Which period is this? Which group is there? And what is the name of the element? Unseptium. Do you see how we solve the questions? This has to be learned.
Okay.
Then I give you Z is equal to 120. 120. Okay? For 120, you will find the group number and period number.
$120.
You always have to learn to write the electronic configuration, students.
Yes, sir.
But here I have a catch. This we have written. You have written?
Yes, sir.
This now 120 means plus 3. Here is a hint. Then 7 has 2, then it will become 7p6 completely filled.
Yes, sir. And 8s2.
Then how many electrons? 8s2. All right, tell me then what is the period number?
Period is 8.
And group number?
Group is 2.
Group is 2. It belongs to which group is that? Alkaline?
Alkaline earth metal.
Alkaline earth metals. That means if I have 118, that will be noble gas?
Yes, sir.
Noble gas. Then 118 is noble gas. What is the name of this noble gas? Octane.
Octium.
And then you have 8s2. I hope you understand why we did all these exercises.
Yes, sir.
What is not done, we are doing it, because other things you already know what is the group number, period number, ionization enthalpies, electron negativities, electron affinities. We talk of, electron affinity and electron gain enthalpy, students. Can you tell me what is the difference between the two?
Electron. Electron affinity is the tendency of an isolated atom to gain an electron, and electron gain enthalpy is the energy released when an isolated neutral atom gains one electron.
Answer is wrong. Okay, I knew that. Students, when I talk, what is the difference between ionization energy and ionization enthalpy? We are talking of enthalpy. We are using these words every day. I mean, books have not given you what is the difference. So, important point. You see that whenever we are doing the measurements of anything, we are at some temperature, room temperature, for example. But actually, when electron affinity is given, that is also the energy. These are measured at 0K. This is measured at 0K, but this is at any temperature, which we are. This is the difference. Energy changes at 0K. So there will be addition of factor of 5/2 RT when we will discuss that. Heat capacity, CP, you have seen that. So these measurements is the energy change. Student, when an electron is added in a neutral gaseous atom at 0K, energy required to remove an electron from a neutral gaseous atom at 0K. These are enthalpies at the temperature wherever we are. So this I have explained to you the difference. The question was put up. Mostly were wrong. There are certain things, certain informations which I want to give you, which are not there. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Why I said also you read more, students. The more you read, the more you learn. Why we are doing so many exercises of meditation, yoga and all that? There is a purpose of that, which students will understand, and try to share our videos with as many people as possible. It's very important. We are experimenting on many things so that more and more students can benefit and become better and better in their life. But we have to learn more than that. That is our point. Learning is a never-ending process. Don't think the course is finished, book is finished, it's over. Nothing is over here. It's only a beginning. So more study has to be done. A self-study is very important. So our purpose is to motivate all the students to study more. You will study more than me because you are writing the paper. Paper is written by you, not by me. So your study will be much more than me. Your knowledge will be more than me. You understand? I'm very open.
Yes, sir.
Don't think I have knowledge. I have very limited knowledge, but I will motivate you to learn more because you are appearing for a paper which requires that. Finally, it will help you so that you can get through the paper, students. You need marks. All right. So these are some of the few things which we have discussed. Something which I find is not given is discussed, and it helps you. It helps you a lot. Coming to, for example, question 1 is on the screen. Periodic classification of elements. Periodic classification of elements, student, is used to examine. Read every statement very carefully before you answer the question. Periodic trends in physical properties, periodic trends in chemical properties, both A and B, none of the above. Okay, what do you mean by physical properties, students? What are physical properties? You are studying in chemistry.
They are boiling points, melting points, solubility.
Solubility, color, etc. Color and all that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what are the chemical properties?
They are oxidizing or reducing properties.
When I say chemical, first thing you study what in 9th or 10th, you say, oh, react with air, react with oxygen, react with hydrogen, react with halogens. What are you doing? React with water, react with acids. All this you studied. Chemical changes, chemical properties. Mean chemical change will take place. New compounds are being formed. Try to go to the fundamentals. We are uploading videos on very small scale, just to know basic things. If you study my 9th and 10th class video, they will help you, because they are basic things we are talking about. Students who don't know 9th, 10th, 8th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, what is the use of 11th, 12th? I will tell you, you will be not, though will not be successful in passing that competitions. Basic knowledge is very essential. Okay, what is the correct answer then in this question?
It should be both A and B.
Both A and B. Then which is the A, B, C, D? Which choice you are writing?
C.
Okay, C. All right, we are not in a hurry. Our purpose is to both A and B. Okay. All right. Next question. Increasing order of electronegativity is now you are talking of. Can you tell me what is electronegativity?
It is the property of an atom to attract the shared pair of electrons.
Okay. Electronegativity. Then what scale has been given to you? You have some idea?
Pauling scale, Mulliken scale.
What is the value of fluorine?
Fluorine has a value of 4.
What is the value of chlorine?
Fluorine,
Few important elements.
fluorine. I think it is 3. Somewhere 3.
Chlorine is 3.
Yes, sir.
And what is oxygen?
Oxygen is somewhere greater than fluorine, 3.5 maybe.
Okay, I'm just trying to why I do all these things, because they will help you. Students, there are certain one which we know we can compare easily. What is the carbon value?
Carbon. 2.5.
What is hydrogen?
Hydrogen.
It is less than or carbon or more than carbon?
Less than carbon.
Less than carbon. Already around 2.1, I think. A carbon hydrogen bond is, when the value is less than 0.7, we assume they to be almost same. You know, CH4 bond is considered as non-polar. Though carbon is more electronegative, this is, you are saying +1, this is then -4 here. But actually, when we write CH4, we say this is non-polar. We say that methane is polar. Tell me. The electronegativity difference is less than 0.7, so almost same, 0 charge. We are not giving any charge to carbon and hydrogen.
Okay.
What is the value of nitrogen?
Nitrogen is less than oxygen. 3.
I mean, exact value you should check in.
3.
Boron.
Boron. 2.
Boron 2. That means boron is less than hydrogen. These values to be checked.
Okay.
Phosphorus, all these you check. All right. So what answer we are giving to question number 2 here? This was just to tell you, okay, certain elements you should learn and try to see the table of electronegativity that we can keep in our mind. And compare them with other elements, it will be easier for us to solve many questions, because electronegativity difference will show covalent behavior, ionic behavior, or how much percentage of covalent character, how much percentage of ionic character, all this, and the nature of the oxides which will be formed. You know, alkali metals, they have the lowest value of the lowest electronegativity value,
Yes, sir.
even less than 1, I think, less than 1. For example, if I write NaOH, so this is sodium and oxygen. Oxygen you are saying is 3.5 electronegativity. Sodium is, if I'm saying point less than 1, less than 1. The difference is about more than 1%. So this will form an ionic compound, and this will be a basic oxide. Basic oxide. Put in water, you get hydroxide. I am just giving you some clues and information. What is the use of anything? What is the answer here?
Here the answer will be A.
Cl is most electronegative, then I know about it.
Yes, sir.
Sulfur, phosphorus, bismuth. Bismuth is, metallic in nature, so it will be the least. Certain information is there. Bismuth is in which group?
Bismuth is in group 5, group 15.
Group 15. You see, Cl, of course, he has given in 3. This is already out. So here they are the 2 Cl. So 2 are always bad, only 1 is left out. These are bad choices. Decision was to take place here. They are very close. So this is the correct answer. We have to work on everything and think about it. See how the questions are solved. Next question is coming, students. How many electrons are there in the 6th period of the periodic table? 6th period. 6th period. 6th period.
How many elements are there in 6th period of the periodic table? 32 elements.
How do you calculate it? Sixth period. We have shown you the periodic table, students. 6th period elements. What orbitals? 6s, then you have 6p. You have 6t. How many? 2 plus 6 plus 10. And if you have 6f orbitals, then how many are there? 32. Next question, which of the following pair has both members from the same period? Both members from the same period. Question number 4. Same period. You have groups, you have periods.
So
Periodic table now. Periodic table. Periodic classification of
it
elements.
is sodium and chlorine, B option.
B option. Now you see that we have to learn and read. You understand that this is the first time you are experiencing and it is becoming difficult. We don't have a complete map and picture and exam. We have to do it. All types of questions will be there. The chemistry of lithium is very similar to that of magnesium, even though they are placed in different group reasons. Read the answers carefully. Both are found together. Both have nearly the same size. Both have similar electronic configuration. The ratio of charge is nearly the same. What is this question based on?
A diagonal relationship.
Lithium and magnesium. They have a diagonal relationship. Diagonal relationship. What is a diagonal relationship?
The first element of the period will exhibit properties similar to the
What is
second
the reason?
element of
What
the
is the
next
reason for
period.
that? What is the reason for that? Okay. We have learned it.
Small size and absence of d orbitals.
That is not the reason of a diagonal relationship. That is the reason of a unique behavior of the first element. Did I talk of that? See,
It should be this charge is to size ratio is same, nearly same.
charge to size ratio is the same. So you will study and learn more about it. Next question is coming on the screen. The electronic configuration of halogen is
NH2, NP6, NH2, NP3, NH2. NH2, NP5.
all right. That we already know it belongs to which group?
Group 17.
10 plus 7. This is the number of valence electrons. We know about it now. What type of questions are coming? NH2, NP5. Next question is coming. Which of the following is non-metallic? Can you tell me what are metallic and non-metallic element? And in between you have metalloids in the periodic table. Which elements are metals?
The S group, the S block elements.
Only S block. Which are non-metals?
Non-metals are found in P block.
What are metalloids?
Metalloids, they exhibit the properties of both metals and non-metals.
Can you name 3 metalloids?
silicon, germanium, arsenic.
Read more. Students, you have to study more. What is the correct answer here? Okay.
Which of the following is non-metallic? Yeah. Boron, it should be.
Boron is a non-metallic, but read more. Little informations we are giving in the form of questions, how questions can be changed and asked in the paper. Now he says the element with atomic number 35 belongs to. Atomic number is 35, which it belongs to which? Group number, they will ask you group number. Then they will ask you period number. Then they will ask you the block. 1, 2, 3 questions. See how the questions are put up. They will ask you the name of the element. In other words, they will ask you to write the electronic configuration of the element. So basically what we are talking the same things. What is your answer?
It should be P block.
What is the
C.
configuration coming?
Configuration is argon 3D10 4s2 4p5.
4p5. P block. So you should be able to write the electronic configuration and all these questions you should be able to answer. Next question is coming. Why the size of an ion is larger than the parent atom?
Due to the increased repulsion among the electrons, due to the decrease in effective charge, due to the increased ineffective charge, both A and B. Both A and B, D option.
Increased repulsion due to decrease in effective nuclear charge. Effective nuclear charge. To this. All right. What we did and why we did all this to make we will continue to do more and more questions with you. At the same time, you read more about the periodic classification so that next time we come forward with more questions and you should be able to answer these questions. So, okay, then we will meet you in the next class. Important, read more. And you know how to approach a question, how to solve a question in the paper. And please forward our videos to more and more students. It is very important, very important. Okay, it helps me also because then I have to prepare so much material. It takes so much time to make all this material. It's not easy job because I am trying to collect questions which are very important. It will take me 3, 4, 5 hours to make one lecture and then I give it to you. So if you can help us also this way, that forward it to your friends and ask them to subscribe the channel. Okay, then I will meet you in the next class.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.